What do you want more than anything else in the world for your child? To be happy, right? Is that what you said in your brain? If it is, you are part of the majority of parents out there. And I'm here to tell you that although this is natural, it could also be a problem. Why? Because a lot of us take this wish for our kids to be happy to extremes. And the result is enabling hover parents, lawnmower parents, and anxiety and stress in our kids and in ourselves. I picked this topic this week because we're approaching the holiday season, and holiday seasons are especially ridiculed with expectations and the need to be happy. So although it is natural to want happiness for your child, you need to step back and consider the consequences. Now let's break that down a little further so you know what I mean. What do we really mean when we say we want our kids to be happy? Well, for most of us, this actually means that you just don't want your kids to experience pain. And as a parent, you can step in and help your child avoid physical pain, for sure. However, you cannot protect them from all the emotional pain out there, nor should you really want to. See, life is full of emotional pain. It is how we live. Having emotional pain and sadness teaches us to be grateful for happiness. If you're trying to prevent your child from experiencing emotional pain, then you're also robbing them of living and then learning from it. One of my favorite examples of this is from Walt Disney's Nemo. In it, Dory is so wise, and when she's talking to Nemo, or talking about Nemo to Marlin, and Marlin is Nemo's dad, and he's the classic cover parent. Dory says to Marlin, you can't never let anything happen to him, because then nothing would ever happen to him. See, you have to let your child experience life. And a part of that experience is emotional pain. It's hard, really hard. But when you think of it that way, you realize that protecting your kids from this emotional pain is unrealistic too. In fact, it's doing them a disservice. The best lessons in life are learned through pain. I'm sure that you've had a painful experience in your life, and when you recovered from it, you were wiser, and then you were better for it. Maybe it was a heartache, or maybe you got caught doing something, whatever it was the experience that made you learn, and then you grew from that experience. As a teacher, I can tell you with all certainty that we don't learn best from books and theory. We actually learn best from experience. So, it is unrealistic to hope that for no pain to happen to your child, or to want to shelter them too much. See, I'm not saying that you let them do whatever they want. Yes, boundaries are important, but there is a balance between protecting them and then letting them live, letting them make their own choices. Furthermore, if it is unrealistic to expect no pain in their lives, then we as parents are setting ourselves up for disappointment and heartache when we're trying to overprotect them. This is a parenting expectation that you just can't win. You can't win this battle. So let go of this unrealistic expectation and allow yourself to let your kids have some kind of emotional pain. I'm going to go one step further and suggest that you teach your kids that pain, failure, heartache, and disappointment in their life is absolutely normal. Some of the depression that exists in our young people today stems from unrealistic expectations of how they should be. With social media only glorifying and portraying the good moments, our young people are being manipulated to think that their life should be as good as what they see in their pictures. They should look that good. They should feel that good. They should be that happy every day. And if you have signed up for my newsletter, The Big Impact, you got my email about this. Because life isn't that great. Social media influence is stupid and completely fake. Dr. Shefali Jabari suggests that as parents, we should teach our kids not to gain any self-worth from external success. She says our children should not base any part of who they are from external stuff. Now, this sounds easy, but it's not. Because we live in a society that gives a ribbon to everyone who participates because we think the ribbon will teach the kid that they have value on the team. We pack our kids' schedules with activities and more activities because society has told us that they need to be well-rounded, they need to be high achievers, and they need to be good at everything. How stressful for our young people. This artificially induced pressure is ridiculous. I say, stop making your kids feel overburdened. It's okay. So what can you do about this? These are my impactful parent tips for this week. The first one is start by sitting down with your kids and asking them, how do you really feel about blank? The football that they go to, the flute lessons they take, whatever the activities are. Did they pick those activities or did you pick those activities for them? And then ask them, if you could quit that activity and try something new, would you? What would you try? Listen to your kids. Because sometimes we project our likes and desires onto our children. I know I do it sometimes, which is a whole different topic for another day, but be aware of that question. Is my kid doing this because they want to do it or because they feel like it is expected of them? Am I creating this emotional pain or anxiety for my child? The second tip I have is when they are having emotional pain, here are some do's and don'ts. Don't ask what happened right away. Not yet. Instead, start this conversation by saying, hey, I see you're upset. I'm just going to sit next to you right here. And if you want to talk about it with me for a while, I'm here to listen. See, you're empathizing. Then just sit there and be with them. Listen, validate their feelings. Don't say, you should have done this and you should have done that. This turns kids off, especially teenagers. So you can process those better choices later after they've had time to process their feelings. So give them one thing to focus on at a time. They don't want your advice at that moment. Later is okay. They want someone just to hear them. Do stay calm in those situations, no matter why they are upset. Don't get upset yourself and make judgments about the situation. This is really bad, actually, because if you start saying stuff like, I knew that friend was horrible, or getting emotionally charged yourself, they won't be able to calm down. And then you'll be digging yourself a hole when they will be friends again with that person next week. And much like when your child was a toddler and they fell, if you were to react like, oh no, and scream, then they would scream. So if you're calm, then they learn to fall and remain calm. Even teenagers are looking to you for guidance on how they should be controlling their emotions. Thank you for joining me today. I hope my message was impactful to you if you needed to hear that message. You are an impactful parent. Parenting is hard, and you got this.